Good morning, good morning. Happy Monday. Hope everyone's having a great morning and a great trading session so far. We are in some medium impact news, so I'm sitting out. I did take one trade. It lost. It actually broke even on the follower accounts, but it lost. Was the alternate counter trend divergence, which I don't really it doesn't set up enough for me to, I don't know. I have rules for it, but I'm not really mad at losing the trade. So yeah. So I'll be restarting my trading in about 30 seconds. Good morning. Good morning, Applejacks. Good morning, Janelle. Good morning, good morning. Oh yeah, Janelle, I could not leave the house this weekend. I tried, but I was extremely dizzy all weekend. Probably the accumulation of me not eating much over the last 3 weeks. So I'm gonna try it again today. If I can't leave today, I'm pretty sure my mom is going out, so I'll just ask her to pick everything up for me because I got other stuff I think at my PO box too. So I'll just ask her to do it for me. But I ended up like I had to do the baby's hair this weekend, and I had to get my cousin to bring him over here because I just couldn't even drive up the street to their house. But I tried. I tried. I spent the majority of my weekend laying down because of how dizzy I've been. I don't really feel weak, but I'm just extremely dizzy. Whenever I stand up, um, when I'm sitting down, it's not as bad, but I'm still like a little dizzy sitting down too. So I'll get my Bob to do it. And Applejacks, you can leave me alone. Good morning, New. How are you this morning? Thank you, Janelle. Thank you. Thank you. I should feel better soon. I ate a little bit more this weekend. It's still not as much as I normally do, though. So I'll get there. I will get there. Oh, by the way, Janelle, I don't have you on Discord, so I couldn't send this to you. Hold on, I'll show it in a second. Oh. So, you guys, it's not ready yet, but I did create the Discord. It's almost done. Applejacks was teasing me, talking about my bots, but literally, it's almost done. I got a lot. The only thing I really need to do is put some of the free resources in that I want to put in. But I have bots set up. I have like everything you could possibly think of. Oh wait, there's nothing there. Yeah, it's pretty much done. Everything is done. The only thing I have to do still is the level up system, which I want to make sure I get done. I'll try to get it done today. I'm not sure if I'll be able to sit up long enough, but I am. Did this work? It did not. It's supposed to push my stream there, so I gotta figure out what's up with that bot. I changed the bot permissions, and I think I might have screwed it up. But yeah, so it's done, and it's coming probably after the new year, more than likely. But it's coming. Yeah. I had to go through quite a few videos to get it set up the way that I want it to. The only thing that sucked, what I was trying to figure out how to get Forex Factory to automatically put the news events in, and I couldn't. So I just ended up having to get a scheduling bot, and I'll just have to manually, like at the end of every day, I'll just manually schedule out the news alerts for the following day. Because what I did not want to do, a lot of people have what is it called, financial juice, and I'm not really a fan of that, to be honest, because it just talks about everything that doesn't really matter. Like, I don't want to know that Trump just elected this person. Like, none of that stuff matters for what, you know, what we're here to do. So, yeah, 21. So I'll just have to schedule the events out every day, and that's fine. That is fine. And that was up to the rest of y'all. I'm weak. So my feet almost all went. Yeah, I know you're tired. You was listening to Nutty talk about his accounts. Yeah, I was listening to him too before I got on the stream, talking about what he did over the weekend. So just so you guys know, there's been 3 trades so far today that I didn't know fills. I didn't even put the order in for that one because one of my other trades earlier was a no fill that looked just like that, but you could see like literally no fill. And that's 3 trades so far today. How wonderful. How wonderful. So I've been getting kind of screwed there a little bit. Just a little bit. I think that would have been another no fill right there. I don't know. I'm not used to having this many trades not fill. It's not fun. I could tell you that it's not fun at all. That was another, another no fill here. So that's 4 trades so far today. The volatility isn't even that high, so yeah. Not sure. Not quite sure. Yeah, that's a little crazy. Show you guys the trade I took. Like I said, it was alternate counter trend divergence, higher low to lower low. And I have rules for it, but if I lose trades on that, I'm not really too bothered because I still don't like that particular pattern. I'm not all the way sure about. So if it happens, it's cool. 63. You're hosting friends for Christmas. Oh, nice. That should be fun. Good morning, Amelia. I think I already said good morning to you, but that's okay. You tuned out after he started talking about Patrick. I'm weak. Said I wasn't going to trade. Quick 210. Nice. Not put it towards your Van Cleef. You bought your niece an expensive Pandora's bracelet. I was just reading something earlier on Facebook this morning about people and their Pandora bracelets, and one girl was talking about hers is so full. I don't know. I've always hated things on my wrist. When I used to wear jewelry, I really mainly only wore rings. But 36. I never like things on my wrist. I don't really know why, but I just don't. Not even watches. See, that one worked out. So normally I would take this trade, right? The only reason I hesitated is because earlier, after I lost that trade, there were two trades that set up that were on the VWAP like that on the bottom. Let me see if I can find it. These two right here would have lost, and that's a lower deviation level. So that's what made me question the one that just happened, right? But I'm starting to wonder, I want to look at all the trades that happen like this where we don't pull back to my half trend, but we're attached to a level. I think that from now on, I really only want to take trades either at the half trend, or if it doesn't hit the half trend, it can't like be a level attached to it, because that kind of lets me know that we're really only, I don't know how to describe what's in my brain right now because my brain is fried. But yeah, I think that's why these two lost versus the one that just won, because here we still had the support of the half trend to help push it down. So I think I'm just going to be careful with the ones that don't hit my half trend, and just kind of go from there for now. All right, so let me pay attention again. 36. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna have to do. That looked like a no fill. No, that one did fill. This one set up way too quick. I couldn't catch that. I was looking at it, but it set up too quick. So I might have to look at that today. I thought I was done looking at shit. Over it. But I think I have to look at that though. Green. Still need to make 15K to meet your 50K goal. But you're well on your way. You've been doing really well. You love bracelets. You got one on now. I don't know. I think it's because like it's not really a sensory thing, but you know, if I have on a watch, but I'm resting my hand on my desk, it like hurts my wrist. I don't like feeling anything on my wrist if it's, you know, if I'm touching something. Still can't believe there were 4 trades that had no fills today. That's crazy. Crazy, crazy. All right, come on. Oh, too far down. Nope. Trading around these bank holidays is very risky. Yeah, it is hot dusty. It definitely is. I've missed some setups so far. But I also have 4 trades not even fill me. 2 of them I actually put orders in for, the other 2 I didn't. You haven't gone to the store in 3 weeks? Same. I don't even think I've been out of my house. Essential shortages in your stores. I'll have to ask my mom. I have no idea. I know my aunt said that the stores were extremely packed yesterday. So I think that's why my mom went to like a totally different area that she doesn't normally shop in. 21. Not 2 days in a row is a record for you. That's me too. Like I probably leave my house once a week. I just don't like being bothered by people, and I don't have a reason to. I'm a homebody, so if it's not essentials, like I'm the type where if I need something, if it's not like an absolute need right now and I can wait until I'm going to a different store, I'll do it. Like I like to cluster all my shopping in on one day so that I don't have to be bothered by people anymore for that entire week. Shelves are empty in GA. Ooh. Hmm. Interesting. Kind of mad at those no fills earlier. All right, let's see if we break down. But yeah, I definitely noticed a lot of people are not trading until the week of the 6th. I don't know. I've never stopped for the holidays. Half days, yeah, but that's about it. Good morning, Paul. How are you this morning? Lost a lot of money. Yeah, Dusty. Um, the only time I didn't really trade around the holidays was when I used to trade Forex. But trading futures, I never really had a problem, even when I used to intraday swing trade. I mean, even like today, there's a lot of volume, there's decent volatility. Um, in my trades, my strategy still has had setups today. So it's really no reason for me to not trade. It's just unfortunate that besides the one trade that I did get orders filled on that lost, the other two times I tried to get in, I just didn't get filled. We skipped right past my entry. But that's one of the reasons why I have limit orders, because if you could skip past the limit order that quickly, that means if it was a market order, who knows where I would get filled. And my strategy is pretty precise. I always want a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio, 18 ticks. So I much rather just not get filled than to get filled on some BS. Oh, okay. Maybe the market didn't really want to continue that. The 5-minute doesn't look horrible. You can see some of the areas I drew the risk to reward. Some of them were where I tried to get in and were no fills, and then a couple of the other ones, like this divergence one, I know I would have gotten filled on, and there was a second one, but it just happened too fast for me to catch it. But I have to figure out server settings. Pretty sure I know why. Edit channel permissions. Pretty sure it's this one. Send messages. Save. All right, let's see if we can break through. Don't want my entry bar to touch the zone. I really want us to push past it, because this is kind of letting me know that we might try to resist the change and we could go back up until we actually clear it. There we go. 26. Almost set up. It's invalidated now because the zigzag detached from the swing. Yeah. Sorry, I'm going back. Really, Applejacks? I can't put anything on my scalp. And I can't use grease on my hair either. It dries it out pretty bad. Doesn't matter which one I use. I think it's too heavy. To work on my entries. 5 trades in a row got wicked out just to go to my target. Yeah, no, those are the worst. But at least you want to work on it. Some people just don't. I was just talking to my friend about that yesterday. I was telling him how I've seen like a really huge increase in the number of people who are trying to perfect an open range strategy because, and not to say that anybody who trades it is lazy. I'm not saying that. But it's a lot easier for you to try to figure out how something can work mechanically like that versus coming up with an actual strategy that you don't trade at the open or after 15 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever. I watched a video yesterday of someone kind of back testing different ORBs with different time frames, and it was just like, I don't know. I just seen a huge increase in the number of people trying to do that. Not leave NQ, I'm weak. I was about to dig a hole in my scalp last week. No hot oil treatments either. Not really. So I have seborrheic dermatitis. And the only thing I really felt like helped my scalp at one point was Head and Shoulders has that blue line called Royal Oils. And using that shampoo along with the scalp cream would help me at times. But eventually I started feeling like the scalp cream, even though I would rub it in really well, was also contributing to scalp buildup because it's a cream and not an oil. But then I also noticed that putting oils on my scalp wasn't really helping either. I don't know. It's why I know I can't have locks because I have to be able to wash my hair every week without fail. I have to. All right, we have to break either the zone up there or we have to break like 510 to 515. Otherwise, this is kind of like a consolidation area between this yellow line and up here. But yeah, so I've been struggling to fix my scalp back to where it was because at one point it was doing just fine. Now, right now, I think it's an issue just because I'm a little, like, I've been drinking water, obviously, for the last 3 weeks, but not as much as I'm used to. So I think my body is just struggling with dehydration. But it's like, I'm not, my mouth isn't dry, my eyes are not dry. Like, it's not that level of dehydration, but I always feel it in my scalp first. But yeah, I just can't put anything on it. All right, we got 45 minutes. I did also decide I'm done at 10:15 again. I'm not gonna stop at 10 o'clock, but, or did I? Yeah, I think I'm done at 10:15. Pretty sure. Pretty sure. I don't know. I noticed the last, like, ever since I started going to 10:30 again, the trades between 10:15 and 10:30 are kind of wonky sometimes. So I rather just stop at 10:15 instead. Ever since 9:15, the charts are looking kind of ugly. Oh, I'm starting to get dizzy. Come on. I think the last time I actually had a setup was that divergence that I couldn't get into. That was like 9:16. Pretty sure that was the last time I had a setup. Gotta break either side. I'm so tired. Good morning, Ola. How are you this morning? Did you ever get your payout? I think my granny is FaceTiming the kids. Y'all, I did so I did my nephew's hair yesterday. And 22. He is so tender-headed all over again because I haven't been doing his hair like I normally was. Remember when I had them for a couple months during school hours, you know, I was doing his hair consistently, so he wasn't tender-headed. Baby, he was screaming, I want my mommy. I want my daddy. His dad's like, buddy, I'm right here. So he tried to give him his phone. And he said, I don't want your phone. He said, well, look, it's Paw Patrol. I don't like Paw Patrol. Ah. I'm like, bro, you cannot be serious. So he's like screaming, I'm not even touching his head. He's like, she's not even touching you. I said, well, do you just want your hair cut off? He was like, yes, I want it cut off. I'm like, boy, you're so dramatic. So once I was done detangling everything, then everything was pretty much a breeze from there. So periodically he'd be like, you done? I'm like, no. So when I was finally done, he went and he looked in the mirror. I said, you like your hair? He was like, yeah. So he goes to the kitchen, and as he's coming back, he's like swinging his braids. I'm like, oh gosh, you're just so conceited, little child. But I know he's happy that his hair is put up again. He doesn't really like wearing his hair out curly that much. All right, we might have the breakthrough finally. 12. Finally. right. Highly doubt this first pullback I'll be able to take. Just looking at the volume pattern. You just got the plane invite this morning? Okay, so fill it out, and it might take up to 7 business days for you to receive the money. Don't be alarmed. It's just because of the first payout. After the first one, you won't deal with that anymore at all. Yeah, I don't know why he's so dramatic. Next, you transfer them. Ola, there you go. 24. Not quite. This almost set up how I wanted it to, but I wanted it to be a trap, and it switched from the buyers being in control to the sellers. So I took the order off, and I'm glad I did. I would have got wicked out right there. 17. Don't really want it to push there, but you know, market does what it wants. 12.36. I did have to make a couple of adjustments to my pullbacks. Not a whole lot, but something I just have to pay attention to. 38. Mm-hmm. You had candied pig bacon yesterday? The fact that you put pig bacon, you just really don't fool with beef bacon or turkey bacon. Candied pig bacon. Did you make it yourself or you got it from somewhere? You are so funny. Sounds good. No pork though. You was tempted to make some ham the other day? I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes during holiday season, somebody bought it the ham from the honey baked ham place. Oh, I just be looking like you ready to risk it all. But I'm telling y'all, if I ever see in person some braised pork belly like this one lady who I used to watch do mukbangs on YouTube, I might have to risk it all. I might wait, I don't want to do it on this channel because I don't want mukbangs to start coming in my news feed. Hold on, I'm gonna show y'all. I forget the lady's name. Oh, here it goes. Listen, this lady here, I'm about to show y'all after this ad go off. Okay, if it don't play another ad, which it just did. Listen, her pork belly looks so good. I will risk it for that. And I haven't had pork in 15 years. But for that one moment, I would. I would. That girl don't do it. Listen. You made it yourself? Not you refusing such a taste buds. It's not that bad. You are so dramatic. So, all right, can we just push and do something? I just want to be able to take a couple trades. That's all I want. Let's see. 193 to that would be 299. Nope. Man, her pork belly just, and she has a video on her YouTube of how she makes it too. Oh. Listen. Listen. You don't like watching people eat? I I used to watch mukbangs. It would mainly just be like seafood mukbangs or her pork belly mukbangs. Cause and honestly, a lot of times I didn't really watch that much of it. It was just like a sound thing, which is very weird because, and I know a lot of people like ASMR. I don't really, so I don't really know why it's a thing for me. Because if you're sitting next to me and I could hear you chewing, I might want to hit you. So it's very weird that I like watching people eat. Um, but I did notice a while ago, I really stopped watching mukbangs. Now I like watching certain eating challenges from professional eaters. But some of them I can only consume so much of their content because, like, one girl damn near looks like she's stuffing herself, like, and she's gonna throw up, like, towards the end if it's a lot of food. And that, I wouldn't say it triggers me, but I worked in an eating disorder facility, so I've seen a lot of stuff and certain things I just don't want to experience again. Um, but there's like one chick who I can watch all day, every day because she never looks like she's forcing or anything. And I really just be amazed that some of them can eat so much food. Like to be able to eat 8 pounds of food, in one sitting is crazy. And then you add in them drinking, you know, fluids at the same time. It's just, it amazes me. And then also, I don't like watching people who are clearly unhealthy. Like, for instance, Be Love's Life, um, Nikocado Avocado. I never really liked watching them like that because it was clear that you guys are not working out and you guys are, I could see the sodium in your face, you know? So that's one of the reasons why I do like the professional eaters, because the professional eaters, they have, most of them are really, really fit. And I remember I watched one video from Will Tennyson. He did a video with, what was the professional eater's name? I think it's like Eric Electric or something. And Eric Electric was showing him how much he has to work out every day just to be able to maintain and to be able to, you know, work off a lot of the extra calories that they consume doing the eating challenges and stuff. And I respect that a lot. There is one lady who's a professional eater. I've never watched her. I think her name is Molly, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know much about her story or her background. I just see that sometimes when some of the other professional eaters are doing a challenge, they'll say like that she has the record time and her time will be like insane, like eating a huge amount of food in like 11 minutes, 12 minutes. And one of the reasons I don't want to watch her is because I don't know, she just looks unhealthy, like, but not on like the obese side, on the complete opposite side. So it's like I don't know. I mean, I know not everybody can gain weight and things like that, so I'm not saying that, but it just looks, I just don't like it. All right, let's see if we wait, why do I have that there? Must be an old one. Nope. Still not breaking out the way I want it to. I don't like how we are resisting here. Seeing as I only have 20 minutes, 25 minutes to trade, kind of annoyed. Good morning, Ruben. How are you this morning? Good morning. You don't like the noises some of them make so gross? Yeah. Some of it is just like too off the wall for me. And one of my friends, we were just talking about that yesterday. He was saying like how he hates ASMR, and I'm like, yeah, but there's people who love it, you know? And it's no different. I don't judge them because it's no different from people who, for instance, like rain sounds. Like it's just a sound that soothes them or calms them. And why hearing somebody chew would do that, I don't know. But yeah, so my niece, I give her some food. She has to watch her show while she eats. What? And that's the other thing that some people like. Some people eat more food and like in a healthier way because they're eating while watching someone else eat. That's a thing as well. So it has its market. Absolutely has its market. Do not eat in front of me. I'm weak. Oh, your dad sounds like what? Yeah, I don't like people who make a lot of noise when they're eating. Hasn't been there. Yes, there has been several deaths of mukbangers. Um, a lot of them are the really obese ones who were pushing this. Man, my back. We're pushing the what do you call it? The damn, I can't even think of the word. Like basically trying to say that fat is healthy, but I can't think of the word right now. But yeah, there are some who died from that. Yeah. And the thing is, working in healthcare, yes, there are unhealthy, skinny people, But I hate when people who are obese or overweight try to use that as an excuse to be unhealthy, I guess you could say. And this is not a judgmental thing. This is strictly from a healthcare perspective and all the things that I've seen over the years. Obviously, yes, you do have unhealthy, skinny people who don't eat well, they don't work out, they smoke, they drink, and although they might not show the outward signs of it now, usually later on in life, they are riddled with diseases and disorders because it all catches up to them. But the sheer number of diseases and disorders that you can significantly reduce your risk of just by not being overweight is insane. And the stress, people don't realize the internal stress of a lot of things, unhealthy things that they do, whether it's overeating, not working out, whatever, not eating healthy. When you see some of the body scans of certain people and you see all of the fat around their organs because of them eating really high fat diets and eating a lot of fast food and things like that, seeing the huge buildup of waste in their bodies because they don't consume enough fiber and things like that. Like, there was a statistic that I learned some years ago, where basically around 75 to 85% of all diseases and disorders, they say, start in the colon. And you can hold up to, I think it's 15 to 20 pounds of waste in your colon. And a lot of people don't know that. They don't realize how dangerous it is long term to not take care of yourself, unfortunately. All right, if I don't get another trade, I'm going to be so fucking mad. The market was moving so great at first, and then we just kind of like flatlined. The loss that I took with the alternate counter trend divergence, I've already kind of looked it over a little bit to see. I'm pretty sure I'm just going to have to treat it like my other counter trend divergence, as far as the order flow pattern that I'm looking for. But yeah, we've just kind of flatlined. It's also annoying that 2 of my orders didn't even get filled. So that's that. $16. You like hairbrushing ASMR? I didn't even know that was a thing. Time to schedule. Yeah. Colonics are good for people at least once a year, sometimes twice. They say like every 6 months is pretty good. But also if you just do what you're supposed to do and consume enough fruits and vegetables and fiber, you won't have an issue. Like for me, I noticed that since I've been intermittent fasting for the last 6 years, my actual stomach organ has shrunken. Like I can't even begin to eat as much as I used to be able to eat, which is sometimes a good thing and sometimes a bad thing. But also I've noticed over time that my body just cannot consume and digest meats as well as it used to. And it's probably also because I've kind of trained my body. Like for breakfast, I have fruit and yogurt and granola. For lunch, I have a smoothie and salad. And then for dinner, I have meat and vegetables. So my body is just so used to only consuming meat once a day that now I just can't do anything else. even if I tried. So like, let's say it's a day where, because I usually break my fast around 12 to 2 o'clock. Sometimes I go as far as 4 o'clock. But let's say it's a day where I'm grocery shopping and it's 2 o'clock and I'm like, you know what? I haven't had a burger in a while. Let me just go get a burger and fries. If I eat that burger and fries as my first meal of the day, I have no room in my stomach for literally, I cannot eat anything for the rest of the day. I won't even get hungry at all. So I try to be careful and now making sure that I just don't consume meat until till dinner, because I just can't. You have a few diabetics in your family, very small, horrible smokers, poor diet. Yeah, some people think because they're skinny, they can do whatever they want. Blackout. You got screwed today, Blackout? What happened? The market conditions screwed you, or like platform issues or something? That sale is pointless to take. I need to watch you more to get up to speed on your style and indicators. So Ruben, basically the main indicators that I have are all support and resistance. I have half trends on, which is the Ninja Co Nova Wind indicator. I've had it for years. I love it. I have the current open high low, the prior day open high low close, and then I have the Fame Super Pivot, which is also from Ninja. And then I have order flow VWAP. So those are most of the lines that you're going to see on the chart, besides the ones that I draw manually like this. Usually if you see a yellow line on the chart, that means that that's where one of my half trends changed trends, which is important for certain setups. But basically for the last month and a half, with no back testing, by the way, I've been trying to put together a strategy that heavily relies on market structure or price action, volume, and order flow. So market structure obviously tells me if we're in an uptrend or a downtrend, or things like that or whatever. Volume kind of tells me who's in control of the trend, because just because you make a higher high doesn't mean the buyers are in control of the trend. For instance, let's say here, let's just say this downtrend. Let's say we push down here and then we push down again. This is a new lower low, right? However, if there's less volume in this swing down than the previous swing down, that means the buyers are attempting to take control of the trend right here, right? The sellers are not in control anymore. Even though we made a lower low, they're not in control because there's only 1,000 volume in this swing versus 2,000 in that one. So once I look at volume with the market structure, I then look at order flow to tell me if I can enter a trade or not. I do still have like a couple of setups where I don't have enough examples over the last month and a half. Some of them is just because I haven't really been tracking it, and then other times it's just because different market conditions. So on those couple of days where the market was moving and grooving, certain setups set up a lot more than when the market was a lot more choppy. Let's see something. 850, 58. I couldn't take that by. But yeah, so that's pretty much what I do. And I just compare, I look at order flow to kind of tell me if I can enter a trade or not, basically. 106. And when I'm looking at order flow, I'm basically looking at the delta of my entry bar. I always enter on a reversal. So like if I was getting in a sale right now, which I'm not, but I would be looking at the delta of this reversal bar down versus the delta of the previous reversal bar down. Kind of the same thing when I'm looking at volume to kind of tell me who's in control of the market. The delta of my entry bar versus the previous reversal bar in the same direction tells me who's in control. 134. So it's taken some time to develop the strategy. A lot more time than I would have liked. However, again, I didn't really backtest, so I went into it with 1 day of backtesting, and then we just kept it moving from there. All right, so finally we got a trade. So we're at VWAP. I do not trade at the VWAP at all. All right, so I'll kind of tell you what I was looking for here on this buy. And probably start when I come back on Thursday, I'll put the volume back on the swings just so you guys can see it. I removed it a long time ago and I really don't know why. But basically there was 1.3 thousand volume in this swing up. There was 847 in this one. So when you see that there's a higher high and you also see that there's less bars in this swing, you would think that because there's less bars that there's less volume, but that's not true. So you can see there was 56 bars going up on this swing, and this says 30 right here. However, there was more volume in this swing up than this one. So that lets me know that the buyers are in control of the trend. Okay. Hold on 1 second. Let me make sure this divergence doesn't set up. 84. All right, it didn't set up. All right, so buyers are in control of the trend. Cool. Here's where things kind of turned a little bit. 18, that's not going to set up. There's 2 bars here in this swing down. There's 6 in this one. So you would think there's less volume in this swing than that one, but it's not true. And this is why volume is so important. So the buyers were in control of the trend, but the sellers temporarily took over because there's 443 volume in this swing down, but there's only 303 in this one. So what does that mean? That means I'm looking for a trap. I was looking for a trap right there to trap the temporary sellers. So if let me move this over a little bit because we're at VWAP, so I can't take any trades anyway. Where did my chart go? Order flow. All right, so I was looking for a trap here. Now you can see again, remember I compare the delta of my entry bar to the previous bar in the same exact direction. Okay. Hold on a second, cause I might get into 63. Oh wait, that is weak. 63. 7. Oh, I couldn't take that. All right. Anyway, so I wanted to trap the sellers here, right? But the order flow, the delta that I'm looking for is I want the delta of this entry bar in order to properly trap the sellers. I wanted the delta of that entry bar to be less than the previous delta in the same direction. And so when you look inside of the bar, hold on. When you look inside the bar, you see the point of control is red, which lets me know that the sellers are in control of this bar. And remember, I'm trying to trap them. Okay. So in order for it to be a trap, the sellers have to be in control because we're going for a buy. And you can see the delta is like 84 and the delta here was like 134. And so it was a perfect setup for me. So that's essentially like the baseline of my strategy. I have different setups. I have like 8 different setups, which sounds like a lot. It's not really. The only reason it's that many is because it's based on market structure, right? So sometimes when the market is not super volatile, like now after 10 o'clock, a lot of times the pullbacks won't even touch my half trend, or it will pull back to the half trend. the minor one. When the market is extremely volatile, a lot of times what I'll see is it'll blow past the half trend and instead come down to the major one and create like this divergence will be created down here. It's not to say that we're not still in an uptrend, because if you look at a time-based chart, all it was a deep pullback, but it's still following traditional market structure. I just don't use time-based charts because I have no reason to. I don't even really need to look at a time-based chart at all, but I can guarantee you that if I show you some of the trades that I took where I had this deep pullback for divergence, start with a higher low, higher high, we slam into a lower low. A lot of times I'm looking for a trap there as well. I want the sellers to be in control of the entry bar, and then I want the delta to look a certain way, and we're going to trap them and keep going up. So on a Renko chart, it looks like, hey, we broke structure. But when you look at a time-based chart, we didn't break structure. It was just a deep pullback, right? And so that's why I take certain divergences that are still in the direction of the overall trend bias. Because on a time-based chart, it's just a deeper pullback. So all of my trades are pullbacks or divergence. Pretty much that's it. So it's either in the direction of the trend or it's not. So sometimes I'll take like early trend trades like here. I was looking to take a sell. You can see it didn't work out, but you see I also didn't take it because volume and order flow told me that I could not. Anytime you are trading counter trend, you kind of want the order flow to show you that the trend is weakening, right? And so what I'm looking for here, all I want is for the entry bar delta to be less than this bar and that bar, the last two bars. Why? Because if we have to have more, we're counter trend, right? So, and this is how when you think about market structure and things like that, the strategy that I'm putting together makes sense. And that's what was most important for me, because that'll help me in the long run to be able to remember the rules without looking down. I only look down because I'm still adjusting things. But if the trend is truly weakening, and this is the first pullback of an attempt to go into a downtrend, right? If we need more sellers to force the market down, that means that price is really not trying to go down at that moment. However, if the delta here is less than the previous two deltas, that lets me know that the trend is weakening and it takes way less sellers to push the market down. There's less resistance from the buyers, if that makes sense. So if I show you the order flow here, the delta here is 63. The delta of the entry bar was 31. Cool, it looks good, right? However, when you look at this delta, it's 7. It's -7, but I just look at the number. It's 7. So it would have taken way too many sellers to try to push past this higher low. Too much resistance, can't get into the trade. And you see it only went 7 ticks and then it reversed up. So, yeah. Let me go back. Fasting help your stomach issues? Yeah. Worked wonders for me personally. You should continue it. Like I said, I've been intermittent fasting for 6 years and I love it. Oh, you got 10 years now? Oh yeah. Chop, chop, chop. You leverage too much? I got you. You're welcome. No testing. Lower volume on a downtrend. You can start looking for a reversal. Do you look for individual candle setups as support? Not really. So usually, how do I, hold on a second. I got a minute left. 18. I don't really want that to reverse there, but it might. I wanted us to pull down just a little bit more before we hit there. 40. see if we, oh, I can't take that too much volume in that swing up. So I do pay attention to what the market is doing at certain pivot levels, right? Because that is still important. Now, the thing is, like, when volume is starting to decrease, although sometimes it does mean that a reversal is coming, not all the time, and that's only because I'm on such a small Renko chart. So I'm on a 16 tick chart. My alarm's about to go off. Hello? Oh, no, it's not, because it's set for 10:30 still. I'm on a small Renko chart, right? So my Renko bars are only 16 ticks. So a reversal bar from the lowest point to close or the highest point to close takes 32 ticks to close the bar, right? And so because I'm on such small tick charts and because my threshold is 1, so once a reversal bar paints and closes, every tick in that direction closes a bar. I feel like that's the best settings to see the true trends. But because I am on such a small tick chart or small Renko chart, volume decreasing is sometimes just for us to create the bigger pullback on the time-based chart to still continue the uptrend. So like here, for instance, there is, what's the number? You got 2.6 thousand volume here. We pulled back, created a higher low. There's 249 volume in this swing up. We pulled back, made a lower low, 140. So we decreased 2.6 thousand, 249, 140. So one would think that, hey, the market might just be trying to go into a downtrend. Yeah, maybe on a small Renko chart. However, what it really was doing was, you can see we pulled back to my major half trend, and we have just pushed up 80 ticks from here. So yeah, volume was decreasing, but sometimes you're just decreasing because you're trying to go test a level. And that's another thing that I realized, like even on pullbacks, right? So let's say we have, let me show you this example. I want to find a VWAP pullback. I think we were mainly at the VWAP earlier. So here, for instance, this is a little bit different, but all right. So let's take this swing here, for instance, right? There's obviously less volume in this swing down than this huge swing. Even though I said, you know, bars don't really count, but there is, I remember the volume here. All right, so there's less volume here than here. Sometimes it's not really that the market is trying to reverse. Now here we did end up getting a reversal, but it doesn't happen like that all the time. Sometimes the market, when I look at it from a smaller Renko perspective, we kind of like pushed past the VWAP, and let's say this bar didn't touch the VWAP at all. It's like we pushed past the VWAP, we created less volume here. It looks like it might be a reversal, but really we were just coming back to try to test the VWAP again and just to continue the downtrend. Now, this obviously reversed. Not only did we have this is the second deviation level on the VWAP, the lower deviation, but we also created a double bottom, and it was a new session low. So there was a lot of support here to push, you know, price up. But if, you know, all of those different components weren't there, a lot of times what we'll see is we retest the VWAP level or pivot level. I take the sell and then we push down like 100 ticks. Complex pullbacks versus simpler two-legged. I used to do two-legged pullbacks. My best friend who trades used to as well. I actually have the Trade Devils price action, what is it? The PATS indicator, where it helps you to enter on the two-legged pullbacks. I actually hate two-legged pullbacks, if I'm being completely honest. And it's mainly just because I prefer strategies that are mechanical and were created based off of a lot of data that shows that as much as some people think the market is so erratic and you can't have a mechanical strategy that tells you, hey, get in here, hey, don't get in here, I believe that the market paints patterns, but it's up to you to figure out how you, what will you use, whether it's indicators, whatever, to spot the consistent patterns that set up every day that have the highest probability of winning the trade. With the two-legged pullbacks, one thing that I noticed is that there's too many variables of that strategy. Way too many. I don't know if I'm still in there, but I used to be in a Facebook group. It was Max Price Action Trading Group or something like that. And one thing that I noticed is that every day, multiple people will post a trade that they took of the two-legged pullback. They lose the trade and they're like, hey, what did I do wrong? Or what could I have done better? And you'll have 10 different people in the comment section, all giving that person different reasons why that trade didn't work out. And then you'll have a couple people like, yeah, I took the same trade. So there's just so much discretion in it. And I also don't like the negative risk to reward. I am a person where I have to have at least a 1-1. Because losing a trade and then having to win the next 3 to make up for the one loss that I took is insane. No. But then also what I don't like this is just me. When I used to intraday swing trade, the only time a scalper and a runner worked out for me was when I was using Renkos. My scalp would be 10 to 15 points. And then the runner, I would basically let run until there was a reversal bar. Because then, the trend might be changing. However, when I used to intraday swing trade on regular time-based candles, which I was still profitable with, I never used to use a runner and a scalper. I was an all or nothing. Either we're going to hit the stop loss, we're going to hit an auto break even, or we're going to hit TP. What I find, and we just talked about this last week, what I find is that a lot of people, not everyone, but a lot of people who do the scalper and runner strategy make way less money than if they would just take if they would increase their lot size, we're not trading forex, if they would increase their contract size and just take everything off at the scalp level. Because when you think about it, okay, let's say you drop down to 2 micros. I want to trade 2 micros, or let's say 4 micros. I want to trade 4 micros. I'm going to take 2 micros off when I get to 10 points, and then I'm going to let the runner run. Most people are not getting runners like that. Most people, their runner is hitting the break even, or the runner ends up hitting where they should have just taken profit the first time. And so you have people who significantly decrease their risk because they are looking for these huge targets, when if you would just take everything out at the beginning of the because we don't know how far the market's going to go. If you would just take everything at the scalp level, you would fare better. And I've noticed that a lot with a lot of different people. Good morning, Trenches. Good morning. Good morning. They forcing you in today? Can be a convoluted strat. I see what you're saying. Yeah. I mean, like I said, the most important thing is that people find what works for them, right? It's all that matters. You have to find what works for you. Everything doesn't work for everybody. People have different personality types. People have different times of the day they can trade. Some people like indicators, other people don't. It's all based on what works for you, right? But I also think that some people see what other people are doing. Like, you see that this one person they just caught 100 points, and you like, damn, I've been over here just catching 20. My little measly 20. I want to go for 100 points too. So then you start trying to change what's already working, because now you want these big trades when who cares? Because if you make less, if you get 100 points, or let's say 50 points, if you get 50 points with 2 micros, but you could have made more if you used let's say 8 micros and just went for 10 points, which that math doesn't work, but I'm just saying, if you could have used more contracts to go for less, if you know the market almost always can give you 20 points, 10 points, why do you care about getting 100? I think that some people just care so much about catching the whole move, and it does not matter. Catch what makes sense. Because in a choppy market, that's how a lot of people blow their accounts in choppy markets. Because in that choppy market, you can easily get 10 points out of it. But you don't know when the market's going to start chopping, stop chopping, go into a trend, stop the trend. You have no idea. So why not go for what makes the most sense and what you can get consistently so that you're not chasing? I used to trade on a 20 tick Renko chart, but guess why I stopped? Because I found that on the trending days, it was fine. From the highest point to close down is 40 ticks. However, when the market is choppy, asking the market to reverse that many ticks, but then I have to add the ticks for my trade on top of that. So I'm asking for the market to reverse 10 points just for me to enter. And then I'm asking the market for another 5 points, about 5.5 points on top of that. That's too much in a choppy market. So then at one point I went to a 12 tick chart. I said, okay, well, let's see. Oh, 12 just moves way too fast. My eyes, I'm older. My eyes don't work that well. No. So I figured, okay, 12 tick works when the market's really choppy, but when the market is trending, baby, we're not going to be able to get into anything. So 16 ticks was my happy medium. 16 ticks work when the market is choppy, when it's trending. I have no problem getting that many points out of the market and waiting for the next setup. Really off now. I'm waiting for Uber to your car. You scalp 2 to 4 minis, 4 to 8 points is totally fine. Absolutely. And that's something that you can repeat every single day. But I think that some of it is psychology as well, because some people are just so gung-ho on like getting huge payouts, huge P&Ls that they can just market all over the place, which I get it, right? But the name of the game is what can you do consistently, not just in prop firms. But if prop firms shut down today, do you know how many people who are 6-figure earners, mid 5-figure earners from prop firms who would not survive a month in a personal account? They wouldn't take one payout, because you have people who will literally tell you, I am profitable in prop firms, but I would not be in a personal account. And what gets me is that you have people that can verbalize that, but they don't seem to be doing anything to change that. The industry could go away tomorrow. We hope it doesn't. But what happens if the CME decides to do what MetaTrader did in the Forex space? Then what? Just like Forex prop firms stop taking US clients, what if the CME forces these prop firms to stop servicing US clients? What are we going to do then? So I think that some people, they do a disservice to themselves by not taking the time to create something that can also be profitable in a personal account and something that they can repeat every single day. Not spend $34, get this account, YOLO it, have way too much risk. I mean, obviously we should be risking more than we would in a personal account. Otherwise we would be in a personal account, right? But some people just trade in ways where you would never do that in a personal, not even close. So why do it in a prop account? Why spend $34? Why waste $34? But it's easier to waste $34 than it is to put $2,000 in your real account. But I think that sometimes that is what the disconnect is in this industry. It's almost like people who get into credit card debt because they don't see the money coming out of their account right away. So it's like a disconnect between them swiping their card and real money having to be used to pay that bill. I feel like some traders, it's the same thing, where they are so disconnected from how much money they are truly blowing as far as like P&L goes, because to them, they just Oh, it was just $35. Yeah, but you kind of blew through $2,000 of drawdown. Like, but or they're watching YouTuber make 100K in one day. Oh, Amelia, yes. And it's like, I get that this is a form of entertainment, right? Because I even tell people, YouTubers are not here to get advice from anyone. Do we allow people in our chat to say, hey, I took a buy here, or hey, look, there's some resistance there, because maybe you see resistance I don't see. I don't really care about that part. But, and I tell people, we're just here to share our journeys. Are some people more entertaining than others? Yeah. I don't have the energy to do all of that. I'm myself. How I am on camera is how I am off camera, right? So I get that it's a form of entertainment. However, I still feel like you have a moral and ethical duty to present yourself in a certain way, because you do have people who are following you. And although you've gotten enough payouts from pop firms, affiliate commissions, and things like that to be able to easily blow accounts, trying to chase the big numbers, the people who are following you, who are now junkies because they want to see the big P&L numbers and things like that, they're blowing money they don't really have to blow like that. And it's not your fault. Like, we can't, as grown adults, I'm not responsible for how I influence you 100%, but I do still feel like there's just a certain ethical and moral responsibility that you have. Like, just recently I saw one YouTuber, he was all over the place. He was trading a bunch, like over 50 prop firm accounts, live account, whatever. And this was on FOMC day, and his P&L was, he blew accounts. His P&L on his live account were all completely all over the place. And I saw different people in his chat like, I hope that newbies are not watching this and thinking this is real trading. Then you had people in the comment section of the video once it posted, like, stop saying you're a trader, you're just a gambler. There are certain people who just get fed up with watching that, because this is not trading. You're, at this point, are you just going for payouts? Like, what the hell is it? I don't know. I don't know. We lose perspective. 3-4 point trades with 2 to 4 minis is doable all day, every day. Exactly. And Ruben, I think that some people, like Amelia said, they see these people making these huge P&Ls every day, and they forget, like, first of all, let's back it up. Most financial experts, when it comes to investments, will tell you that a 10 to 12% gain on your investments yearly is a good return. 10 to 12% yearly. But for whatever reason, and I don't know if it's a lack of education or knowing those particular statistics, but for whatever reason, when we get into day trading, we are so set on 10% a day, 10% a week, 10% a month. Now, if you have the strategy to do it, and you use specific metrics to tell you how much it's safe for you to risk, like risking 5% of your account when you have good edge, you have a good risk to reward ratio, good win-loss ratio, risking 5% of your account, to me, is not over leveraging, even though, like, basic statistics will tell you about 2%, 1 to 2% is good. But if you know you have edge, I think you could push it to 5%. You got to lose 20 trades in a row, right? And if you have edge, the probability of that happening is very low. But why are we so set on 100% returns each month? Now, I don't think we should be going for 10% a year, but it also just lets you know how blessed we are to have the opportunity to day trade and have the opportunity to create a strategy or learn a strategy, whatever, that can get you 10% a month or every couple months or whatever. But too many people are just pushing so hard, and I don't get it. Like, if big numbers mean so much to you, just spread your damn leverage across different accounts. Because a $5,000 day on one account is no different than a $5,000 day on 10 accounts, and you just made $500 per account. I would much rather have $500 a day per account than $5,000 in one day on one account. But that's just me. Because how often am I going to be able to repeat $5,000 a day? I'm going to be chasing it. But I can easily get $500 a day. But people just, the psychology is it. That's why they say that the psychology part of trading is like 80% in technique, or strategy is 20, because where are people in their brains are just so disconnected right now. Danny, no, it was Kyle on FOMC day. I think he started his personal account at like 7,600. I tuned in a couple hours later and it was down to $560. About an hour, maybe two later, I can't remember, I looked and he was up to 21,000. And then he took another trade sometime towards the end of the session and ended at, was it 12,000? I think it was 12 or 14,000, somewhere up in there. And so from an overall perspective, you gained $5,000, but you went from 7,600 to 560 to 21,000 to 14,000. I hope a newbie does not look at that and think that that is a good idea. That is insane, actually. Yeah. The ones I think need to be held hard. Oh, yeah. Yeah. If you're selling courses, you definitely should be held to a higher standard. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because not only are people consuming your content for entertainment, but they've also paid to learn how you trade. And when they pay to learn how you trade, they're going to be chasing the same things that you have. It's like how with Forex, how you had a lot of people who, you have these influencers who are driving these fancy cars and things like that, and then they sell you a course. And once you get into the course, a lot of times you didn't really want to learn how to trade. You wanted that person's lifestyle. And when you had to start digging in and learning how that lifestyle came to be, and how it's not just as easy as pushing a buy and sell button, how you have to actually sit there and study and analyze and things like that, you realize that Lambo, you ain't gonna be able to get it tomorrow. You ain't gonna be able to get it next year. You forget that this person took 5 years to develop the skill, or 8 years to develop the skill, and you think that you're gonna develop it in 8 days. Yeah. I left a corporate job making this about $40. Exactly, Ruben. We have the same thought process. Literally, in one of my journals, what I did was I wrote out how much I was making at my last nursing job. Now, I've been a nurse for, when did I graduate? 12 years. I've been a nurse for almost 13 years. I've taken some time off in between those years, but either way. And so at my last job, I was making about $43 an hour. Now, I've only worked full time, like maybe, I would say maybe 2.5 to 2.5 years of my nursing career. I've always worked part time. Give me 2 shifts a week, I'm good. Because I'm debt free. I don't have a lot of bills. So, why am I going to work myself to death? So I literally wrote out, all right, $43 an hour, even if I worked full time, is this amount per year. If I break that down into 252 trading days, however many trading days. When I broke it down, I said, oh, that's it. That's all I got to do. And I'm only trading, 10 hours a week or so, versus having to make that same amount of money in 24 to 36 hours a week. Oh, we good money. And that's kind of what keeps me focused, is that I know as soon as my strategy is complete and, I can not miss as many trades and things like that. And that's also why I wanted to create the strategy the way that I did, because I want enough opportunities to where if I, like earlier, before I even got on the stream, I had already had 2 trades that skipped right past my entry. Then while on the stream, I had 2 more that skipped right past my entry. Now, my first trade that I took that was a loss, I only took 2 trades today, a win and a loss. The first trade that I took that was a loss, that's still one of the setups that I'm still just a little iffy on, right? So I'm okay with that loss. But I still had enough opportunities to still end up green in 2 accounts. The only reason I'm negative in this one account, excuse me, is because the loss was like significantly more than it was supposed to. I got like an extra 10 ticks of a loss there because of slippage or whatever. But I still ended up green. So I wanted to be able to scalp so that if I miss opportunities, if the market is just moving too fast for me to analyze and click the button, if I have 4 trades that just skip past my entry, I still have enough opportunities to be able to trade and still end up green for the day. And everything will just average out just fine. Not you realize they rented the Lambo for $500 a day, girl. Yes. Exactly. All right, so I already showed you guys the accounts, but so drawdown wise, I am drawdown wise, I'm still, what the hell? Oh, because it's not the picture, girl. Drawdown wise, on the Apex account, I am missing about $200 in drawdown. I think the highest that account hit was like 340 or 3 something. So hopefully we can get that back by the end of the week, and then I'm pretty much almost back to full drawdown on this Top Step account. This is the one that I started last Monday. So the drawdown is right at 48,000. This is still incorrect. It's still based off of Apex numbers, but I just know for sure that my drawdown is at 48,000. I will say that that middle account, it renews not this Saturday, but next Saturday. So with this being a shorter week, and then next week also being a little off a little bit, I will be multiplying contracts probably Thursday and Friday, or just next week. We'll see, because I do want to attempt to pass the account. So I might just start multiplying contracts on Thursday, because it really doesn't matter what happens to the account, because we'll just get a free reset on renewal and it doesn't really matter. But yeah, good discussion today, you guys. And I thank you guys for tuning in. Janelle, can you message me on Discord when you get a chance? Message me on Discord when you get a chance. But yeah, I thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoy your holiday. Be safe. I am not trading tomorrow. I don't trade on half days. So I will be back on Thursday. And that's that. Yeah, so I thank you guys for tuning in. Please like the video on your way out if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already. But other than that, I will see you guys bright and early Thursday morning at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye, guys.